Welcome to BAETTA International English IELTS GRE and ELT programs. This is ElT, Chairman ElT and Head of Linguistics, BAETTA Bangladesh. As a part of MA in English, ELT, TEFL and TEFL curricula, today I am gonna make this video on types of test validity part 2, content validity, construct validity and others. This is an innermost and blazing topic in language skills testing, evaluation and assessment course. So, this video is going to be very important to you. Let's begin. Introduction. Generally, a test is said to be valid if it measures or assesses accurately or successfully what it is intended, supposed or purported to measure. Thus, in measurement, the two very important concepts are validity and reliability. Reliability is how consistent the outcome of the tool is, and validity shows how well the tool measures what it is supposed to measure or how accurate test results are. In my previous video, I discussed phrase validity and criterion-related validity together with predictive validity and concurrent validity. From this video, you will learn about content validity and construct validity with their subdivisions elaborately. Now, I will be speaking about each of them in detail. Content validity. Is the test fully representative of what it aims to measure? Basically, content validity is a rational validity that estimates of how much a measure represents every single element of a construct or syllabus. The major two types of content validity are number 1, item validity, and number 2, sample validity. Construct validity. Does the test measure the concept or method that it's intended to measure? Basically, content validity is a rational validity that estimates of how much a measure represents every single element of an approach, concept, theory or method. The major two types of construct validity are number 1, convergent validity, and number 2, discriminant validity. Let's discuss them ornately. Content validity. Content validity subsumes whether the test fully representative of what it aims to measure. Content validity assesses whether a test is representative of all aspects of the construct, a particular syllabus or content required teaching or testing to fulfill objectives and outcomes of a course or program. A test is said to have content validity if its content constitutes a representative sample or item of the language skills, structure, etc. with which it is meant to be concerned. To produce valid result, the content of a test, survey or measurement method must overall relevant parts of the subject it aims to measure. If some aspects are missing from the measurement or if irrelevant aspects are included, the validity of the test or measurement is threatened. Example of content validity. An English teacher develops an end of semester English grammar test for the class. The test should cover every form of grammar that was taught in the class. In some types of grammar are left out, then the result may not be an accurate indication of the student's understanding of the subject. Similarly, if she includes questions that are not related to grammar, the results are no longer a valid measure of grammar knowledge. There are two types of content validity. They are number one, item validity, and number two, sample validity. Number one, item validity. In a test or experiment, the extent to which an individual item measures what it purports to measure. Item validity refers to how well the test items and rubrics function in item of measuring what was intended to be measured. In other words, the quality of the item and rubrics. Selected response item quality is determined by an analysis of the student's responses to the individual test items. Sample validity. Sampling validity is how well the test covers all of the areas you want it to cover. For example, if you are doing an assessment of effectiveness of grammar tutoring, you would want to include all areas of interest including morphology, syntax, semantics, and other essential items of English grammar. An assessment would be a poor overall measure if it just tested morphology or syntax skills. It's usually not possible to cover every single area of interest from a single measure. Therefore, you will want to choose the most important items in your assessment. One way to do this is to consult with experts in the field of judge how well the items are representative of the content. In the above example, you could consult with expert educators of English. How do you know if a sample is valid? Statistically valid sample size criteria are number one, population, the risk to total number of people to whom you want to apply the data. Number two, probability or percentage, the percentage of people you expect to respond to your survey or campaign. Number three, confidence, how confident you need to be that your data is accurate. Now, I want to discuss construct validity. Let's move. Construct validity. Does the test measure the concept that it's intended to measure? Basically, content validity is a rational validity that estimates of how much a measure represents every single element of an approach, concept, or theory. Construct validity evaluates whether a measurement tool really represents the thing we are interested in measuring. It's central to establish the overall validity of a method. Let's learn what is a construct. A construct refers to a concept or characteristics that cannot be directly observed but can be measured by observing other indicators that are associated with it. Constructs can be characteristics of individuals such as intelligence, obesity, job satisfaction, or depression. They can also be broader concepts applied to organizations or social groups such as gender equality, corporate social responsibility, or freedom of speech. Example of construct validity. There is no objective observable entity called GTM, grammar translation method, or CLT, or communicative language teaching approach that we can measure directly. But based on existing research and theory, we can measure grammar translation method or communicative language teaching based on a collection of symptoms and indications such as grammar, structure, linguistic competency, strategic competency, social-linguistic competence, as well as strategic or discourse competence, etc. Actually, construct validity is about ensuring that the method of measurement matches the construct you want to measure. If you develop a questionnaire to diagnose grammar knowledge and communicative competence of a candidate, you need to know, does the questionnaire really measure the construct of grammar translation method or communicative language teaching approach? Or is it actually measuring the respondent's ability, skill, or knowledge level of competency or some other constructs? To achieve construct validity, you have to ensure that your candidates and indicators and measurements are carefully developed based on relevant existing knowledge. The questionnaire must include only relevant questions that measure known indicators of grammar translation method or CLT approach. The other types of validity described below can all be considered as forms of evidence for construct validity. The major two types of construct validity are number one, convergent validity, and number two, discriminant or divergent validity. Convergent validity. Convergent validity refers to the observation of strong correlation between two tests that are assumed to measure the same construct. For example, in order to test the convergent validity of a measure of vocabulary of a candidate, a researcher may want to show that measures of similar constructs such as spelling, pronunciation, meaning, and formation of the words, including part of process identifications, are also related to vocabulary, whereas non-overlapping factors such as punctuation or syntax may not be included. Discriminant or divergent validity. Discriminant validity or divergent validity tests those constructs that should have no relationship do, in fact, not have any relationship. If a research program is shown to possess both of these types of validity, it can also be regarded as having excellent construct validity. In linguistic testing, divergent validity is used to determine if a test is too similar to another test. If a test is found to correlate too strongly or to be similar with another test, then it suggests that the tests are measuring the same thing and are too alike to be considered different. Now, let's talk about what is divergent validity example. As per example, if a test is supposed to measure suitability of applicants to a particular job, then it should not exhibit too strong correlation with, say, IQ scores. Otherwise, the instrument is just another IQ test. Viewers, there are some other validities in testing and measurement like internal validity, external validity, factorial validity, or statistic conclusion validity. In another video, I will discuss all them elaborately. Thank you.